Okay, it's been a long day. We gathered in this room at 12 o'clock. So it's been more than 5 hours. And this is a completely new experience to me, to do the online meeting combined with the offline meeting. So this was not the kind of smooth sometimes experience. But I hope participants do have some information and insights from the plenary session, as well as concurrent sessions. So as mentioned earlier, we had 14 papers presented. And then we also had a panel discussion among 4 panel members. So we will try to make some videos and we'll make them available through YouTube, okay? So now in our bylaw, we should have a general council meeting at least once a year. And we usually have council meetings 2 times as a part of our annual meeting, as well as year-end meeting that we have every year, okay? So Professor Yoon, so will you join us the dinner or? Okay. Okay, now so the agenda for General Council meeting today is essentially updating everyone about where we are, the current state of our organization. And, but there is one discussion item. That is the venue and format of our next annual meeting in August or July 2021. Okay, so that's one probably some discussion item, okay? So the first, I listed our activities, the main activities this year. And from January this year, I took over the chairmanship from our inaugural chairperson, Professor Hong Ju-jung. And as we all know, he had the Herculean effort to start this organization pretty much from nothing. But now we have about 70 members from more than 20 countries. So in the January this year, we started planning several things, but because of COVID-19, we had to cancel some of the early events that we planned. But one very good news for us, the second item, thanks to the effort by our editor, International Review of Financial Consumer, Professor Sharon Tennyson at Cornell University, we applied for Scopus accreditation. That happened in February. So we have the new issue of IRFC. So we have some extra copies in the back. So when you go home, I want to ask you to pick one copy for your information. And I heard it usually takes between 6 months and one year for them to make a final decision. So we may hear the decision sometime later this year. Obviously, we hope for good news. But if not, then it may be a matter of improving our journal, then we apply. So that's a very good and promising news for our journal. Then we had the one seminar about Financial Consumer Protection Act in Korea. the past Congress earlier this year. And we had a very interesting discussion, but that was mostly among our Korean colleagues. But we did have a summary of our discussion from this seminar, and we put that in our website. And then the June this year, we had an online international seminar among all our members on financial education. And I was very pleased to hear from Professor Sherman Hanna about some of the findings presented there by Mark Say at the University of Georgia. Then we are having this annual conference, and after this, I will try to explore some smaller scale seminars and study group meetings. And then after that, we will have an end of year meeting. Next year, one thing that I like to announce, maybe it's a little premature, but in January 29th next year, we plan to have a joint conference between IAFICO and Vietnam National University. It's about legal issues. And in Vietnam, there is some interest about the Korean experience in terms of passing the Financial Consumer Act, which will be implemented next year. So I don't know if Van is still here. Van?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, do you want to say a few words about this planned event?
Yes. Actually, we have the approval from VNU to organize the conference in January. We have the other procedures to be approved. But we are working with State Bank of Vietnam right now, because State Bank of Vietnam is going to have the conference in consumer protection as well. So we think that it's better if we can cooperate with State Bank of Vietnam. And actually we have worked with them twice, and they think that the conference will take place in State Bank of Vietnam venue. So there are several VIP from State Bank of Vietnam will attend the conference. So we are in the process of having the approval from the chairman of the State Bank of Vietnam. And I think it will be fine. So I will notify as well as soon as I get the official document to Professor Mancho. And I also contact Professor Mancho with the people from State Bank of Vietnam already. So we are going to have a team in organizing this conference. But actually, one of the concerns is the COVID-19 situation in Vietnam is getting worse. We have 100 infected case in community now. So I hope that the plan will not be delayed, but we are preparing for this from the Vietnam side already.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much for the update. And I think we have to live with this level of uncertainty because of the disease. But once it is finalized, we will have a formal announcement of the event. And next year, we will have a couple of meetings before the annual meeting. I will skip that. But the main event next year will also be the Global Forum for Financial Consumers. And our original plan, which we discussed with Professor Sojung Park, is to have an on-site meeting at SNU. So I don't particularly like online and on-site meeting after organizing this one. I do love to have face-to-face meeting with our colleagues. So at this point, our plan is to convene and have an on-site meeting at SNU sometime next summer. When we have an annual meeting, we usually decide the next year's conference venue. So following that tradition, I just want to open this issue up to see if there is any suggestion or comment about our current plan. Dr. Kim, do you have any suggestion or comment? Feel free to add anything.
I think there was a plan to have our annual meeting in South Africa, right?
Well, let me answer that. Couple years ago, I think that we had a plan to have annual meeting in South Africa, but our membership is concentrated in East Asia, Korea, Japan, and others, and going to South Africa will take too much time. It's very far. So there was actually expressed concern about that. So that's why we tentatively have some other location next year and have an on-site seminar at SNU this year. But then we had COVID-19. So we are now having this little changed format for this year's annual meeting. And we had the executive committee meeting in April this year. And at that time, we decided to have a sort of postponement of the on-site annual meeting at SNU from this year to next year. Okay, so that's why we have the current plan for the next year at the SNU. Okay. Any online participants, colleagues from Zoom? Do you have any comment or suggestion about next year's venue? Three, two, one. Okay, so so tentatively, then we will have a site for next year's meeting here again at SNU. But frankly, we don't know what we will be facing. The early to mid next year in terms of COVID-19 crisis. So we will make adjustment if necessary, unless there is any. Okay, so another item to update is our membership. Individual membership, we have about 70 members from 20 countries. And we also have institutional members, mostly recruited by the Professor Hong Ju-jung and ADBI, Asian Development Bank. They had very generous support last year when we had a conference in Indonesia. Then we have a number of Korean finance related institutions. Financial Supervision Service, Korea Deposit Insurance Corporation, Korea Life Insurance Corporation, General Insurance Association of Korea. And then we have 3 new institutional members who committed to support the organization. Korea Housing Finance Corporation, their representatives are not here. I just want to make sure nobody's from Korea Housing Finance Corporation. The second new institutional support or institutional member is the Korea Credit Union Association. I'm afraid if I have a right official name, but it is a association, Central Association of Credit Union, and we actually have 2 representatives from the Korea Credit Union Association. So in fact, I met them first, so I cannot introduce you. So could you just briefly introduce yourself? Okay, so can you join the dinner? Okay, then we can introduce each other at the dinner occasion. And then last but not least, we have KB, Kookmin Bank Financial Research Institute. This place has been sponsoring a number of academic associations in Korea, and they agreed to make some generous membership support, financial support for IAFICO. Okay, our financials, the important number is what we have carried over from the end of last year, which is 36 million Korean won, a little over, a little more than 30,000 US dollar. And right now we have a little more, 37 million Korean won. And so due to the Hongju's effort, we could quite steadily accumulate this association fund over time. So we are not extremely poor, but we are not rich. So after this annual meeting, the executive committee members will do some effort to expand our membership, both for individuals as well as for institutions. Okay, last slide. So I just updated you on where we are, but then we are free to dream about where we want to be next year and beyond. And I think as an academic association, it is very important to have a respected annual conference. So if it is a globally renowned conference, presenting anything there is usually very competitive. So we have 14 papers, and a small fraction of them are actually the voluntary applications to present, including what Professor Buyel Kim sent us in response to our call for paper. So I think we have to increase the voluntary applications for presentation to our annual meeting. I dream that we can have over 100 applications for presentation if and when we become a respected and mature academic association. IRFC, I mentioned about that. The Scopus accreditation will be a very good news if we have that. I'm a former editor of this journal, and putting out each issue was frankly a lot of effort. We have to solicit papers to be published, and now it is much better. The Sharon Tennyson, she used to be an editor of the top journal, Journal of Consumer Affairs. It is getting better, but she also has a very difficult time in putting a quality articles in each issue, which is very important right now because we are being evaluated by Scopus. So I strongly recommend you, if you have some working papers of reasonable quality, then please consider sending that to IRFC. Okay, then we also have to invite more thought leaders. As a part of preparing this meeting, I could interact with a number of new scholars, globally renowned scholars. For example, Professor Sherman Hanna, Martin Say, and Professor Gianni Nicolini. They are all new members to our organizations. And I think each of us will put some effort to expand our membership, particularly recruiting some, the interdisciplinary thought leaders. And Professor Ko, who is in this room, I'm very happy that he participated to the plenary session for this organization. Lastly, I want to recruit some young people, the graduate students, as well as young scholars, assistant professor. And to that note, Ms. Soyoung Lim, right? Soyoung Lim is here, who put a lot of effort to help Professor Hong Ju-jung to build up this organization in the first 5 years. Okay, so okay, we can clap. Okay, so that's all I want to update for everyone on site as well as online. Before we wrap up, I just want to make sure if there is anyone who want to say anything about IAFICO.
Professor Cho.
Yeah.
I'd just like to pay my compliments to IAFICO. I think it's been a very successful conference, despite the exigencies and despite the challenges. And I just want to say an acknowledgement to you and the rest of the executive on a conference that I found very engaging. So thank you very much. Very great thanks to you from Sydney.
Thank you very much, Andy. And unless there is anyone else, I want to ask Professor So Jung Bak to come out and wrap up the meeting. And I do appreciate Professor Park to be very accommodative in hosting this meeting.
Okay, I wasn't expecting for this, but anyway, thank you very much for remaining until this late evening, and thank you especially for those on the Zoom. Thank you very much again for participating in this conference. Although our chairperson, Professor Manjo, didn't like the offline session, actually, for me, it was much easier because I didn't need to accommodate for all other matters. But it looks like this year was like some sort of practice, and next year will be the real thing. And I didn't do much. Just Professor Manjo did pretty much everything, and also I want to say a special thank to 윤경아 선생님. She did everything. I did nothing. So if we have to do this here as a new again next year, maybe I will have to ask a lot more to 윤경아 선생님 again. I don't know. and thank you for everybody helping us to have this great conference today. Okay, and thank you for everyone. Thank you.
I forgot to mention about Miss Ho, Yu Kyung Ho. She is our resident moderator. Whenever we have a seminar, she provides a lot of help. So thank you very much for that. Okay, that's it for this year. And I will keep you posted for other activities. And see you later.